We have selected 3 topics among the numerous ones we published this week on Army Recognition's website and or on our Defense Web TV. The first one is a premiere. The French DGA has just released the very first video of the initial off-road driving tests of the Serval light armored reconnaissance vehicle. The second one is an interesting analysis published by Russian experts on the future of wheeled armored vehicles. The third one is linked to AUSA 2019. It's to say the proposal made by AM General to supply the US Army with 2 variants of its Jeep Gladiator MXT as light tactical vehicles. The first test of the Serval, the light VBMR of the Scorpion program, took place on the proving ground of the DGA Center of Expertise and Field Testing in Angers at the beginning of September 2019. These tests were carried out on different types of terrain. The prototype has proven adapted to all these situations and suggests very good mobility capabilities. More tests are planned in 2020. In particular, it will be a question of evaluating the wear of the vehicle thanks to an accelerated aging test equivalent to several years of use. The DGA awarded the contract development and realization of Serval to Nexter and Texelis in February 2018. The Military Planning Act 2019-2025 provides that these 50% of new Scorpion program vehicles will be delivered on the period, which represent 489 Serval vehicles. The first deliveries of Serval will take place in 2022. Most modern armies are switching to new wheeled hardware. The most popular future war concept is the so-called multi-domain warfare, which is another evolution of the general combat. It demands mechanized force to be highly autonomous and operate away from the main forces and supply lines. The importance of ergonomics is growing. Armor designers know that future conflicts will develop at a high pace and the load on a soldier, both physical and informational, will increase. Comfortable conditions positively influence the effectiveness and morale of a soldier. Therefore, technical conditions should be improved for him. This being said, the time of rapidly trained massive armies has passed. Russia is not fast in implementing the transition of unified heavy, medium and light brigades announced in Ground Forces Commander-in-Chief Colonel General Alexander Postnikov in 2011. The BTA-82A, with all the drawbacks of Soviet warfare of the Cold War time, remains the main wheeled vehicle of the Russian ground forces. Massive supplies of new hardware will not happen soon, and the potential adversary will have time to saturate its army with new hardware. It's a dubious prospect to remain without a new engagement concept and a vehicle of the 1970s against NATO brigades by 2030. When the first aerial vehicles of the Boomerang platform may be offered to foreign customers, foreign competitors will market the second generation of deeply upgraded vehicles. The Jeep Gladiator XMT, XMT stands for Extreme Military Grade Truck, could make its US military debut in the coming years as a light tactical vehicle after AM General and Jeep's corporate parent Fiat Chrysler Automobiles announced a co-developed MXT concept truck. The two companies envision Jeep's mid-size pickup transformed to suit a variety of applications for troops in the field as a glorious reunion that harkens back to the days of World War II with the Willys MB model, should the US Army be actually interested. For AUSA 2019, AM General showcased 2 potential forms of the Gladiator MXT in its press release, an open-door convertible version that looks like transport vehicle and a closed-off one with a large box in the bed designed to house logistical and equipment. The company claims it's using custom-built and commercially available military-grade parts. Pending positive feedback, the Gladiator could go into production as a military vehicle as early as 2020, AM General said.
This week, Navy Recognition has noticed on its website a particular interest from its followers for the following valuable topics. First, UK F-35 fighter jets landed on board HMS Queen Elizabeth for the first time. Then, the Belgian King Filip has visited the Leopold I of Belgian Navy during NATO maritime exercises. And finally, Turkish Aerospace Industries has delivered 3 Anka UAV to the Turkish Navy. F-35 Lightning jets landing, taking off and hovering on board Britain's next-generation aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, for the first time. The landing on HMS Queen Elizabeth are part of the Westland 19 Carrier Strike Group deployment. Once fully operational, the UK Carrier Strike Group will be a formidable force around the world, using a number of platforms to work alongside our allies. These trials are aimed to end-to-end testing of the aircraft and personnel to ensure the aircraft are compatible with the carrier. The tests involve mission planning, arming the aircraft using the ship's highly automated weapon handling system, flying missions, and debriefing on completion. With the fourth day of NATO exercise Dynamic Mariner knocking on door, the Leopold I has the honor of welcoming none other than His Royal Highness, King of Belgium Filip. For a major part of the crew, this visit marked one of the highlights of their military career. Indeed, it was the perfect opportunity for the frigate Leopold I to show off its capabilities to the highest-ranking military members of the Belgian forces. The small arms crew fired with precision at its target, and the goalkeeper cannon sent a burst of hundreds of bullets zipping toward the threat. Finally, the RIP crew showed its professionalism with a man-overboard demonstration. Turkish Aerospace Industries delivered 3 Anka UAV armed drones to the Turkish Navy on October 12. The Thai Anka is a family of unmanned aerial vehicles developed by the Turkish Aerospace Industries for the requirements of the Turkish Armed Forces. Basic Anka-A is classified as a medium-altitude, long-endurance UAV, envisioned in the early 2000s for tactical surveillance and reconnaissance missions. The Anka has now evolved into a modular platform with synthetic aperture radar. Synthetic aperture radar is a form of radar that is used to create 2-dimensional images and 3-dimensional reconstruction of objects, such as landscapes. With SAR, the drone can conduct surveillance mission in all weather conditions.
And now for the air sector. Pakistan's 5th generation fighter aircraft development, the Raider X helicopter designed for the US Army's FARA program, and an unusual Chinese helicopter concept. Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company, recently introduced the Raider X helicopter, specially designed for the US Army's Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft program. Raider X is an agile, lethal, and survivable compound coaxial helicopter which has been specifically designed to secure vertical lift dominance against evolving peer and near-peer threats in the most demanding and contested environments. Lockheed is one of 5 companies designing aircraft in a competition to build the Army's Future Attack Reconnaissance aircraft. 2 teams will be chosen to build helicopter prototypes by 2023 and fly them in a head-to-head competition. A mock-up of a strange flying saucer-like armed helicopter was displayed at the China Helicopter Exposition on October 10. The 7.6-meter-long aircraft, named Super Great White Shark, features a blended wing body design with the aircraft itself forming a wide ring with its cockpit placed in the center. Vertical lift is provided by a coaxial rotor system with a diameter of 4.9 meters positioned inside the ring-shaped fuselage. The aircraft also has 2 small jet engines placed on either side, which provides horizontal thrust for high-speed forward flight. According to the pictures, the helicopter is supposed to be piloted by 2 people sitting next to each other and is also supposed to be armed with at least 2 different missile types. Pakistan's Project ASM, whose enterprise involves development of its own 5th generation fighter, has accelerated, with first of the 4 conceptual design phase cycles being concluded. The Pakistan Air Force formally initiated Project ASM in July 2017 with the objective of developing a 5th generation fighter aircraft, or FGFA, a medium-altitude and long-endurance UAV, new munitions, and other projects. In terms of the FGFA, in a recent interview, the Pakistan Air Force Chief of Air Staff stated that he does not expect the FGFA to become operational for another decade.